I went camping at Lake Tahoe with my sketchbook, and I came back with more than just drawings. The days passed quietly on the shores of a beautiful lake that holds the echo of the Washoe native people, who consider it a sacred place where the sky reflected on the earth. I had previously shared the first days camping and painting on the shores of a similar nearby lake called Fallen Leaf. But now I want to show you the beauty of South Lake Tahoe, a place where the lake stretches wide between the mountains and everything feels calmer. Camping for several days allowed me to enjoy nature up close and also appreciate what architecture has given us. We were well equipped. Quinn's family knows a lot about camping and brought chairs, table, a stove, and everything we might need. That morning, we left the camp on foot and soon arrived at the south end of the lake, which is immense. The others came by bike, but we quickly realized that the shoreline was very narrow, so we started looking for a small beach to rest. We found it and set up our hammock. I took the time to rest, feel the wind, the sand, and just be present. The lake is so big that it feels like an ocean. The water was freezing, but I dared to put my feet in. The cold woke me up and made me feel everything more intensely. The water was calm, just small ripples moving gently across the surface. I took out my sketchbook and observed everything around me to decide what to paint. I found a beautiful red pine cone and looked at it for a while, thinking about painting it. But in the end, I decided to capture the whole landscape I could see from the hammock, including a part of it, a family memory. After a few hours, everyone left, and Gwen and I stayed a little longer, enjoying the view. Spending time in silence, in nature, helps us reconnect with ourselves, something easy to forget in the city. These spaces allow us to rest, process, and let go of what we carry inside. It's nice not to have to rush, just to be. It's easy to focus on things we normally don't have time for: painting, thinking, creating. Real growth happens slowly, step by step, with patience and consistency. Nothing is more important than this moment, here and now. It's a place where the mind calms and thoughts flow. The things that really matter are usually achieved with patience and small steps, not quick fixes. True joy comes from contrast, from everything it took to get here. We don't need to be anywhere else. This moment is enough. We walked and found the ruins of a resort casino that belonged to Elias Baldwin. His granddaughter, Dextra Baldwin, after a fire, built a rustic summer house that is now part of the historic site. The house is beautiful, with sage green windows and antiques inside. It also has a patio with a well full of flowers. We sat down to rest and admire the architecture of the place. I imagined how wonderful it must be to live in such a lovely cottage, surrounded by nature. Then we walked back through the forest, a little afraid of encountering a bear, but enjoying the scenery. The trees in that area are imposing and beautiful. Back at camp, we prepared some simple and healthy snacks. These small moments, without realizing it, become the most memorable. I love cooking outdoors and taking my time to make a cup of tea. When there is no internet signal or social media, We can be unhurried, living the moment. There is no pressure. It's easy to be present. While preparing the tea, I remember how much I loved being in nature, how it balances my nervous system and brings me back to my center. Even a few days immersed in nature help me meditate on interdependence and how fleeting perceptions arise from moment to moment. Life is a dream, and realizing that we are characters in that dream helps us be more lucid, see problems as passing experiences, and imagine ourselves with more freedom. In this calm, away from the rush of the daily life, each activity is a small ritual to enjoy. My partner and I took the time to talk, connect, share, and rest. The next day, we prepared the van, a converted ambulance, for a big adventure. We packed everything we might need, prepared food for a picnic, and when everything was ready, we headed toward the Angora lakes. We went up a mountain and stopped halfway to stretch, walk a little, and take photos. From there, the lake looked spectacular, particularly Emerald Bay, with its turquoise and blue colors. This lake is like an ocean surrounded by mountains. On one side, we had the blue lake, on the other, a beautiful open landscape. There was no rush. We enjoyed the moment. From there, we saw Mount Talak, and I remembered when we climbed it a few years ago. It was hard, but spectacular. Finally, we arrived at Angora Lakes, an incredible place where the mountains reflect in the water. We entered a gift shop with beautiful things, like small watercolors and books about birds, which inspired me to paint nature. And there was also a nice cafe. Then we walked to the top, where there was another small, quiet lake, perfect for a picnic, swimming, and resting. The scenery in that place is amazing. Since the early 20th century, Angora Lake has been a favorite hideaway for walkers and families who came to swim, row, and drink lemonade among the rocks. We stayed until sunset and returned enjoying the forest path.
Here, look, you can see the mountains here.
Mountain range here?
It's showing you
The mountains you're looking at right now.
the mountains you're looking at.
Back at Fallen Leaf Camp, I cut out a map to paste it in my sketchbook while enjoying yerba mate.
Like a red zone. Probably has some health benefits.
On our last day, we went to Emerald Bay. Laura Josephine Knight, a philanthropist, lived there and in the early 20th century commissioned Viking's Home, a summer house inspired by Scandinavian architecture. She received friends here, walked through the forest, and spent her summers by the lake, seeking beauty, calm, and time away from the city. In the small museum, you can still see photographs and objects from that era. There are huge sugar pines with bark that looks like a puzzle. We played separating and putting the pieces back together.
It's not like it's connected to the blood system. It's just
The textures and the landscape were very relaxing. We found a table farther from the noise and settled there. It's one of the most beautiful places. People come to rest and have picnics with family. Not everything was perfect, and I think it's worth saying. Sleeping awake in a tent wasn't easy. It was cold at night, and going to the bathroom in the dark, thinking about bears, didn't help much with rest. My body was sore, and my sleep was never completely deep. There was also no internet, which disconnected me from work, from keeping up with emails and messages. At times, I missed the comfort of a home, my studio, my materials, even the space I usually have to meditate. I decided to paint that place, leaving space for the map I had cut out. This is how the painting turned out, with the map piece included. Although painting on this cellulose paper was a challenge, I liked the loose and expressive result. During the trip, I painted with watercolors, the lake in different shades of turquoise. Each drawing is a memory of those days, time passing slowly, and enjoying the present. I added a title with calligraphy and gifted it to someone who appreciates my drawings. At the end, we said goodbye from the top of Emerald Bay, climbing some rocky formations with a wonderful view. Later, we prepared a family dinner and a small fire. Those moments cooking together were some of my favorites. Everyone contributed something. We had delicious figs and plums that our relatives brought from their garden. Being kind to ourselves also means enjoying these little moments. Minjin is a great cook, and her maternal love extended to everyone. As with everything in life, the week ended, and we began packing to return to civilization and our daily activities. Early in the morning, we loaded everything into the cars and said goodbye to the camp. Before leaving, we made one last stop at the lake to enjoy the morning and swim. We spent a good while simply enjoying the view, doing nothing, just being present and connected to Earth. Creativity emerged in these moments. I finished details in my drawings, meditating and breathing in the landscape. The kids created art with nature. The water was crystal clear, and the open sky was perfect for meditating. My sketchbook wasn't ideal for watercolors. The paper didn't absorb water well, and I had to adapt. Still, I was satisfied with the drawings I made. They aren't perfect, but they are honest. One of the girls made a beautiful composition with color stones, and the other made a small boat from natural materials, which she left floating on the water. This creativity appears when we disconnect from technology and reconnect with nature. Sometimes we need to step out of our comfort zone to remember what really matters. I came back with more than just drawings, not with answers, but with more clarity about how I want to live my days. Returning to civilization, we left behind the beautiful nature, but we took memories that stay with us and a calmness that reminds us to return to what is essential. Thanks for watching.